welcome to another episode of the FoodBall Show. I'm Renata Ribeiro, and I'm here with the Dalai Lama of soccer, Mr. Simon Allen, and we have FoodBall Harry.
Hello.
And we just have plain old Alexi.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So, on today's show, we're going to be talking about the World Cup round of 16. World Cup round of 16, what does that mean? So, it means that the winner of one group will be playing the runner-up of another group, meaning the winner of Group A will be playing the runner-up of Group B. Does that make sense?
And the winner of Group C plays the runner-up of Group D and vice versa.
Basically, now it's a knockout stage. If you win, you progress to the quarterfinals, and if you lose, you're going home.
What we're going to be talking about is the possibility if all of their predictions came true. So Simon, you have Portugal topping its group.
I guess.
Okay. And then Harry and Alexi, you guys have them playing Uruguay.
Correct. They're going to be runners-up in their group right after Spain, and Uruguay will be topping their group. Uruguay came second in qualifications in South America just after Brazil. They conceded 20 goals. They need to make a little bit of a shake-up on defensively.
So Alexi, Portugal.
You know, Portugal has got the world's best player playing for them, Cristiano Ronaldo. He's got an amazing international goal-scoring record, 81 goals in 149 caps. You know, Portugal, relative to the Soccer Power Index, are ranked 7th to win the World Cup. So, you know, Spain and Portugal, who can really tell? But, you know, I think if Portugal plays Uruguay, Portugal's going to qualify.
Well, look, Uruguay's got Suarez and Cavani, two of the top scorers in soccer right now. So it's going to be a fun match. It's definitely going to be a fun.
That's why it's the World Cup.
There you go.
Okay, and Simon, you picked Russia and not Uruguay.
Yeah, I picked Russia to go through because of a simple fact. Listen, soccer is not about statistics. Soccer is definitely not about statistics. Soccer is about history. Okay. If you look at the history of the World Cup, every country that's hosted the World Cup has gone through the second round, except for one, South Africa. Even when the thing was shared, both the countries went through. So Korea and Japan went through. And I really have to be honest with you. I like the idea of Russia going through and sort of following historically the other teams.
So do I.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's definitely more going against Russia than going for them, right?
Absolutely right. Listen, 100% right.
Okay.
So you're saying Russia's going to win the World Cup?
Hold on.
Basically.
No. Russia struggled during the Euros and they had to replace their manager. Okay, their manager's name is Stanislav Cherchesov, and what he does is he brings in young players, and these young players have to perform. Like, you know, it's like an Arsene Wenger but of Eastern Europe. So they need to perform, but it doesn't matter. I really think that if you're in your home country, that you are going to do well. Okay, I want to sort of go back to 1998, guys. Okay. 1998, France won the World Cup, and a guy by the name of Brent Musburger. He was not a soccer guy, but he was a big-time famous, big-time sports personality. And he came up and said on TV, France will win the World Cup because of home cooking.
And what does that mean?
It means that if you're in your hometown and you're eating your home food, that you're going to win the World Cup. So home cooking and Russia.
Okay, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's what I'm saying.
So the chefs got to follow the team then. So
at least feed the team, yeah.
All right, guys. So I need to read this because too many different opinions on this one. So Harry, you picked France from Group C to play against Nigeria from Group D. Simon, you chose Denmark to play Croatia.
Yeah.
Okay, and Alexi, you predicted France versus Croatia.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Look, France is 5th in the SPI. They've got a very strong team. They've got a lot of players playing in the Premier League, and everyone knows that that's a very strong league. Griezmann, one of the best strikers. Everyone wants him. You've got obviously Pogba with Manchester United, and N'Golo Kante, who's one of the best defensive midfielders now playing for Chelsea. So they've got the right mix of players, both attacking and defensive.
Yeah, Mbappe, Coman, Dembele, all young, great players.
Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, absolutely.
So look, you know, it's a tough one. You can't be called, but usually, you know, I'd like to think that probability is what counts, and I see France, you know, progressing against Croatia.
Simon, you didn't pick Iceland.
I'm changing my mind.
You're changing your mind.
I am.
Okay.
That's what we like.
Iceland topped Croatia during World Cup qualifiers, right? But you know, again, being on the bubble there, Eriksson, who plays for Denmark, who plays for Tottenham and Denmark, has to really play like he did when he played against Ireland during qualifiers for Denmark.
Iceland does have experience, though.
Listen, Renata,
and they are the second oldest team.
They are the second oldest. You're absolutely right on that.
And they did beat England in the Euros.
Correct.
They absolutely did.
And they're ranked number 17 in the world.
Okay.
Wow, so many facts on the FoodBall Network.
So
right?
many facts, guys. Where else can you get this? All right, so in Group B, all of you guys had Spain topping their group, but only Harry, you had Egypt getting out of its group?
Absolutely. Well, I think Egypt's going to top
Okay.
Russia and Saudi Arabia. In episode 1, we talked about Salah, player that he is right now, and he's going to have a huge impact on the team. And let's not forget the rest of the Egyptian players on that team. Let's also not forget about Cahill being one of the older players in the World Cup right now.
Yep.
And Egypt has one of the oldest players in the World Cup if he ends up playing at 169 caps. Essam Al-Hadri in goal.
It's funny that their world's #1 most capped player is also Egyptian. I think Egypt could do well. They've got a player playing for LAFC, loaned from FC Basel. He's called Omar Gaba. He's a pretty good right back. So look, their mix is getting stronger. Their players are now playing more teams on other continents as opposed to just playing in the Arabian Peninsula.
Yeah, they're no slouches. I mean, they got El Nani in Arsenal. They got Subi in West Brom. So they got a pretty powerful, good group of players that are playing
You
internationally.
shouldn't dismiss Egypt quite yet.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I have him second runner-up on Group A.
Okay, so finally a moment where all three of you, and only the three of you,
Yeah.
agree that you have Argentina topping their group.
Yes, well, I mean, even though they only scored 18 goals in qualifications.
They're saving it up for the World Cup. Don't
Absolutely,
worry about it. Don't worry
absolutely,
about it.
and let's not
Come on,
let's not forget about Messi. And even Messi, if Messi doesn't pick up slack, they got players like Higuain, Icardi, Aguero.
Yeah, look, overall they're a great team, and they've got a lot of great players. It's true, I agree with you. They didn't score as many goals in their qualifying compared to Brazil's 41. When you're pedigree, you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, so Simon, tell me something.
Well, listen, we will be talking about Argentina until they get knocked out of the World Cup. That, to me, essentially is something that every fan out there wants to see.
So you don't think they're gonna win?
I think that's what every fan wants to see.
Okay.
And every fan wants to see Messi win the World Cup. That's something that he's going to want to do to essentially cement his place as a legend in the world's game. And they want to see him perform the same way he does week in and week out in Barcelona, for his country. And they want to see him essentially win the trophy for Argentina.
Well, look, the World Cup's all about excitement, and people want to be playing at your best. And when people are playing at their best, it's when the World Cup gets really exciting and crazy.
That's the best part about it. The fans, the emotion,
100%.
the dedication.
And
All right.
football people.
And
Right.
football people. All right, so that's a very clever way to end our show, our
Argentina.
segment of the show on Argentina. Why do you ask? Because today we're going to be cooking some amazing Argentinian food with an awesome chef. So we're going to pass it over to Marylu.
Thank you guys, and hello everyone. It's me, Marylu Mijani here, and I am about to talk to you guys about my favorite part, food. We have a special guest, Chef Sydney, who is going to be talking about the comida típica de Argentina. All right, so let's start with our first dish.
Right now we have our chorizo, we have our empanadas,
Empanadas.
and then we have our asados, we have our pork ribs, our steak.
Hold on, is this caponata?
Yes, it is. We also have our chimichurri, which
Okay.
goes on top of the steak.
It looks very green. Is that like spinach in there? What do you have? What is that?
What's in there is actually parsley and olive oil.
Let's focus on the chorizo. What is chorizo?
So chorizo is a pork sausage, and traditionally is a casing with intestines.
Very exotic. Okay, how long does it take to cook?
It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. It should be properly plumped. When you press on the sausage, juices will come out, and that's how you know that it's ready.
I can't wait to try this. And let's bring out the second dish, right? Is it this one?
Yes.
Empanadas, correct?
Yes, so this is our empanadas. We actually have vegetable, meat, and chicken.
Is it kind of sweet?
In different countries, it will be sweet. We also have our asados.
Asado.
We have our pork ribs, steak and beef ribs, and then our chorizos that we mentioned in the beginning.
So you were telling me about the Napolitano Milanese.
Yes, so this is actually breaded.
Okay, so all of this food looks yummy, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a all sweets person, so tell me, what is that over there? I'm sure it's sweet, right?
Yes, it is. This is actually the Dulce De Leche.
Dulce De Leche.
Yes, it is. I am a sweets girl too. This is actually cheesecake, one of my favorite desserts.
I love the heart-shaped things. Like, what is that on top of it?
Well, it's designed to make you want to eat it. But
Okay, it's working. It's
Yeah.
working. Let me tell you that. You know what? Let's bring all of this to the table, shall we?
Thank you for joining us. We have just been served this amazing meal from our Argentinian chef and our host, Marylu. It's time to dig in and sit around the table with some amazing people and have some good food. The best wine to have is red wine with meat. And Argentina is known for its meat, so I'm so glad we're pairing this. It's like very dry, right?
Well, we got a traditional asado dish,
Love it.
which has a combination of meats.
This chorizo, it's a morcilla because it's blood sausage, right?
I love my bloody sausages.
Oh my goodness. Are you gonna have a blood sausage?
I am not. I'm staying
Alright.
far away from that. I
That's
love
just,
meat.
That's just more for me than I
She
guess.
wants lamb.
Sure.
Oh no, don't do that to me.
So am I the only one
chicken.
that's like having a hard time?
You should just grab it with your hands. I don't know why you got.
I'm trying to be proper here.
Wait, guys, the vegetarian one, the vegetable one, not just for vegetarians or vegans, like really good for anyone because it's spinach and potatoes mixed in the middle.
Marylu's got a big pork rib in her hands, and she's getting messy. Does that mean Messi's gonna have a big World Cup?
It just means that Messi is gonna have a lot of pork at the World Cup.
It means Messi's gonna have a messy World Cup.
Wow.
I hope it does because I've got them to losing to England in the
Well,
final.
but that means that they're gonna get far.
Well, as long as they don't win it.
You probably would not want Argentina to win, but
No, probably not.
I think a lot of people do want, like we talked on the show, you know, it's time for him to cement his legendary status,
I agree.
all right?
Okay.
So you look at someone like Pele, who won everything in Brazil,
All right.
came to America and won it with the New York Cosmos. He won it with Brazil. He won it with his national team.
Yeah, but is the Argentinian team as good as that Brazil team?
Even the Argentina team now isn't as good as the Argentina team, let's say in '86 or or '78.
Because they
But
came
he still has to
third.
do it. He still has to win.
But they came third
right?
in the qualifying, which
Yeah.
means that
Now get this, I'll throw a little sort of curveball. What if Portugal wins? Then the whole idea of the Ronaldo versus Messi, who's better, who's best,
of course.
it's over. There's nothing to talk about in the history of
I
football
don't know
anymore.
about that.
Why
I mean,
not?
just because Messi doesn't win the World Cup doesn't mean he's not one of the best players in the world.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's
You know?
normal.
And the other thing is I want to talk about competition. The teams right now in the world competing against each other wasn't when Brazil was playing. Back in those days, West Germany was dominating the Soviet Union. You had Brazil, the Italians, Uruguay, Argentina, and that was basically it. I mean, was there any other top teams that were competing? Now,
In the 50s it was Sweden, in the 60s it was England. There's always going to be some guy like George Weah, who's an amazing player, the top guy in the world, who's never going to amount to anything with his national team, Liberia for example. But when you're an Argentine player, you have to win the World Cup just to be even put in the same page as Diego Maradona. So he has to win, and then he can put it to bed. I'm the best player in the world. Thank you very much.
I don't know. I don't think that even because he wins, he can put himself as labeled. He could say that I finally won a World Cup,
Right?
but I don't think he should be labeled as the best player because look, Cristiano Ronaldo is an amazing player, and we're seeing Mo Salah come up, and he's great. And I want to talk about Isco.
Isco is not the type of player to take a game which is totally against them and turn it around by himself.
Well,
He's
let me-
not that caliber of guy.
That's fine, but about 9 months ago, were we talking about Mo Salah the way we are right now? So if he could do it in 9 months, why can't Isco do it?
And if Egypt wins the World Cup, then we'll say that Salah's the best player in the world. Messi wants to be the best player in the world
Ever.
and then put Ronaldo to bed.
That's not going to happen. Even if he wins the World Cup.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Even if he wins the World Cup, I don't think that's it.
100%. It's like Jordan versus some LeBron. Jordan's always going to be Jordan, and
Yeah.
LeBron is a close second.
Yeah.
But I think the best part of the World Cup is seeing who steps up to their game, not only as a player, but as a team. So it's so much fun to see teams play that you didn't expect to win, and there they are in the finals.
Renata, you know the second best part of the World Cup?
Food.
The food, people at your table, some good wine. So let's cheer it up and let's, pass that cheesecake.
Cheers.
Salud.